Hello everyone, it's Nikki. Welcome or welcome back. This piece I'm sharing with you today started as something simple but turned into a story. A mermaid, a forest fairy, and a secret waiting just beneath the moss. Let's see where the magic leads us today. This video is part of a playlist. It's our monthly Just Our Imagination. This month, our guest host is Caroline by Craft Classy, and the usual Kathy Joe DIYs and Brenda from Rustic and Lace. Now, let's jump right into the video. Our first challenge item is a sponge. I picked this one up at the Dollar Tree, and I started by removing, of course, the label, and then I took my scissors and removed the whole outer piece to the sponge. I had no idea where I was going with this, just so you know. So I started picking away at the sponge, and I'm thinking, well, you can make moss out of sponges. So I picked away at it. I'm like, this is tedious. I already know that this is probably going to be a lengthy project since it's just our imagination. So I got sick and tired of picking at it, then decided to put it in my blender with a little bit of water. This took a little bit of time, maybe like 10 minutes, but I let it go and it was able to work its magic and it broke it right down into just small pieces. When that was done, I dumped some of it into a bag with some moss-colored chalk paint by Waverly, and then I chose this grass green color by Apple Barrel, and I end up putting that in just a minute. I mixed it up a little bit. I wasn't entirely sure what color to put in there, but moss just made sense. And once I add the other green in there, it really comes together and it looks nice. I have to apologize ahead of time. I thought my phone was filming and it indeed was not towards the end. So there's going to be some footage missing. It's more or less me placing things and gluing things, but the end result is beautiful and I really hope that you'll stick around to see what it looks like. So the second challenge item is a ladle, and I had this cheap Dollar Tree ladle, figured, you know what, I'm just going to use this. I don't want to ruin one of my good ones. So as you can see, I used my heat knife and a little bit of muscle work and I broke it in half. Then for the third challenge item is an egg. I chose this makeup sponge. I wasn't going to go out and spend any money, guys. I just painted it with some white chalk paint called Snow White. I did a couple coats and then I set that aside. I am trying so hard to use what's in my stash. The only thing that I bought recently is Redesign's new release of like decoupage paper and Medi transfers. But besides that, I'm not spending any money. I'm taking this crimson color chalk paint. I did throw in a little burnt umber and some salt wash, mix that up, and that's what I'm going to paint this part of the ladle. And this is going to end up being a mushroom. This takes several coats. I'm not going to have you watch me. I had these in my stash, more mushrooms. I painted them with the same color chalk paint. I just painted the tops, and all those needed was one coat, and I set those aside. Then I grabbed a seashell that I got at Old Orchard a couple years ago, used some blue hot glue, and glued down these little glass pieces that you get at the Dollar Tree. I don't know what they're called, but as you can see, I'm using light blue and darker blue. And the blue hot glue I got on Amazon. It's a sorted pack of different colors. Then I took this terracotta pot base and painted it with the color Dusk by Waverly. And I ended up doing just one coat. I just needed the color for the next step. I'm just filling in some areas. I set that terracotta bottom down and made it look like the water was falling into the pot. And then gluing in some more of those pieces. I'm going to keep going back and forth with some of the blue hot glue. I switch out and use some clear, some glitter. This little bird bath I've had in my stash for years. This was actually used on another project. So here I'm just putting in some glitter. And like I said earlier, going back and forth. That bird bath I had gotten at the Dollar Tree, I remember when I got it, and I did pretty much the same thing, glue and glitter. This was a really fun project. I actually wasn't going to participate this month. And then last night, I'm like, I have a sponge, I have a ladle, and the egg. I can figure that out. So I stayed up all night putting this together. I have to work tonight, so I figured I'd do my voiceover, go to bed, and I'll be at work the next 3 nights. I want to thank you for stopping by today and watching my video. I know it's a little out of my ordinary for those who keep returning, but I hope that you'll enjoy it all the same. And don't be afraid to try something new and just use what you have on hand. You know, you don't have to go out and buy stuff. You can create a lot of crazy things, I'm telling you. I ended up going over all those glass pieces with glitter Mod Podge, and this is my moss. I just started sprinkling it all around. I still wasn't entirely sure where I was going with this. Um, the little moss that you see there, I got that on Etsy a long time ago, and I didn't really know what to do with it, but you see how fine it is? I ended up incorporating that in there, and I used probably way too much moss, but hey, I was in my crafting vibe and I was just going with it. Sometimes it's so hard to get going, but once I get going, I can't stop. It's a problem. So as you can see, I'm messing around with the handle and I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but then I was thinking, I wonder if I can make it into a tree. So I grabbed these little wooden pieces, they're like little wooden people from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I end up using for the other half of my ladle that I'm turning into a mushroom. It's gonna set right on top of that. So here's where I decided I'm gonna turn this part into a tree. So I painted it burnt umber, then went around all the sides of my plate and just messy painted on some of that moss chalk paint so that gold wasn't popping through. I wasn't making it look pretty, but see where I'm painting here now, that ends up being water. And you're going to miss that part. It's going to be more of that blue hot glue, a bunch of that, and then I throw in some sand on the side, some white sand from Dollar Tree. You'll see it all at the end, but that step you do miss. But I'm just showing you where that's going to be placed in through here. I am so sorry, guys. I don't typically lose footage, but I don't think I lost it. I think I didn't film it. There's a little wooden circle that I'm setting that on. Not entirely sure where that came from. I just hot glued it, as you can see. Then I'm going to put the little white specks on my toadstools with more of that white chalk paint in the color Snow White. And as you can see, I'm using my nail dotting tool, and then I just use the back of a paintbrush for the big toadstool. I think this turns out pretty cute. And this is going to set on top of the little wooden people that I got from the Dollar Tree. I actually can't wait for my sister to wake up because she loves stuff like this. Then I decided to wrap around this green twine because I was so worried that the glue wouldn't hold it in place. So I thought it would be a good idea just to have some extra reinforcement. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go out and buy supplies is this isn't a project I'm going to keep. I mean, where am I going to put it in my home? I'll admire it for a little bit, but eventually it'll go. These pieces I got out of my stash. The greenery came from Hobby Lobby, and I just cut a few pieces, kind of shoved them down in between the silicone and the plastic. I added some hot glue, and then I just ended up getting a zip tie to hold it all together, and then I just wrapped it with some floral wire. I have a hard time with projects that I'm not going to keep. It's just so much waste, and I have a hard time with waste. But I do like to join these challenges. They're a lot of fun, and I do like challenging myself to try different things. So as long as I don't have to go out and spend money, I will be more than happy to join. And while you're here, please check out my video that came out on the 8th. It's all about animals that I do with my friend Yetta from Craft Along with Jay. It's a monthly collaboration that we do, and it's a lot of fun. We both love animals so much, and we want to recognize them every month and show our love for them. So I wanted to cover up the zip tie and the floral wire. I burnt myself bad there, guys. Ugh. I wanted to cover that up, so I decided, well, moss. I'm already going with a moss theme, so why don't we make it look like there's moss growing up the tree? And I thought maybe the green twine might show, so I'd cover that up as well. It's finally starting to cool down here. How has it been for everybody else? What's the weather like? I know it's been hot all over the globe, and I'm just checking in, see how everyone's doing. Oh, it's been such a hot summer. And I'm a Mainer. Like, I love the cold. I am for it. Summer, no. Fall, winter, that spring, I like that. That's me. Summer, no. These little acorns I got at Hobby Lobby, 30% off. So they were real cheap. I ended up taking 2 of them. And this isn't my idea. I found this on Pinterest. The little forest creatures. So you take 2 of them, you got a head and a body. And then I took some sticks out of my stash. These sticks are like what I used during Christmas for decorative pieces. So I cut little pieces, kind of snapped them in half so it looks like they have an actual joint there. They can move their arms. And I just hot glued it up around the neck area. And then I did the same thing with his little legs. This guy came out super cute. I wanted to make a couple of them, but I didn't have time. So I just cut his legs, and then I make a small little break, and look, he's got a little knee. I just glue that down around the bottom. The image showed little feet that they used out of the acorn cap, but of course I have faux ones. I wasn't able to do that. So he didn't get any feet. These helicopters I had in my stash, I ended up cutting them, as you can see here, and then placing them separately because I tried to just glue the whole thing down and it wasn't working. When they dry out, they're not flat. They kind of lose their shape a little bit. I'm grabbing more of that glitter Mod Podge, and I'm going to go over my egg again. This is going to be a magical egg, so it's got to sparkle. I'm putting down some E6000 and some hot glue, and I'm going to hold that tree there just for a minute. So from here on out, I'm gluing everything down, putting everything together, and I'm making the water beach scene behind the shell, and you miss all that, but we're going to go over it, just so you can see it. This is for fun. So I got to be 100% honest with you guys. I feel so bad about this. I really do. I thought I hit record, but apparently I did not. So I'll walk you through the end, and I hope that you'll still enjoy this and not hate me. But just so you know, I love you guys and I appreciate you sticking by me and all the sweet words. Okay, so this is what it came out like. There's a little beach. All that blue is hot glue. Got some gems in there out of my stash. A little fish and mermaid tails and seashells. I just sprinkled them on top. The mermaid I found in my stash. I actually found that alongside the road and she's hiding her egg. She doesn't want anybody to try and take it from her. There's a toadstool. I hope you guys enjoy this. Those came from the Dollar Tree, those green ball thingies. I don't know what they're called. Moss balls, marimo balls, maybe. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm going to read you a story. Deep beneath a canopy of moss and palms, where the land kisses the sea, lived a quiet mermaid who carried a secret in her hand, a shimmering pearl, shaped not by ocean waves, but by wonder. Beside her rested a second treasure, a mysterious egg, smooth and pale as moonlight. No one knew where it came from, not even the mermaid. She had found it nestled in the folds of a seaweed just after a silver tide. Hoping for answers, she turned to the keeper of the woods, a gentle acorn fairy with wings of gold and a heart full of ancient forest wisdom. Together they watched the waves, listening for the stories the water might whisper. Some say the egg holds magic. Some say it's a gift for a creature yet to be born. But the mermaid only smiles because sometimes the best stories are the ones still waiting to unfold. Okay, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. If you did, I would be so thankful if you gave it a like and left a comment down below. Your words always mean so much to me. I read every one. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to come subscribe and join our little creative corner. I want this place to feel like a happy place where everyone feels welcome and inspired. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll have the playlist linked down below, so please go check everyone out if you haven't already. And that's it for today, guys. Bye.